You just finished designing a system in your head. The architecture is clear, the flow makes sense, but now you have to document it. So you open Lucidchart, Figma, or Draw.io. You start dragging boxes, connecting arrows, fighting with alignment. An hour later, you're still tweaking spacing instead of shipping code. There has to be a better way. Meet AI Diagram Maker, the fastest way to go from idea to diagram. Just describe your system in plain English, and it generates a professional diagram instantly. And when requirements change, you just tell it. Let's start with a real example, a login flow. I'm describing it in plain English. A user calls the login API. The system validates credentials against the database. On success, it redirects to the homepage. On failure, it returns to login. In seconds, you get a clean, accurate flowchart, no manual dragging required. You can zoom in for a closer look. And if you need changes, just chat with the AI. For example, let's convert this to a sequence diagram. Done. The entire diagram is redrawn automatically. No starting over. What about ideas you've already sketched out? Maybe you whiteboarded a system design with your team or sketched a flow on paper. Just attach a photo and ask AI Diagram Maker to convert it. It understands your handwriting, recognizes your structure, and produces a clean, professional diagram from it. No redrawing, no manual entry. What used to take an afternoon now takes seconds. What about your existing documentation? PRDs, technical specs. System design docs, they contain critical architecture information, but turning that into a diagram is tedious manual work. Not anymore. Upload your document, ask AI Diagram Maker to generate a diagram from it, and you get it instantly. You stay focused on the actual design work, not on translating text into boxes and arrows. And for engineers dealing with legacy code bases, the ones where nobody knows how anything connects anymore, you can link directly to a GitHub repository. Paste in a public repo URL, or connect your GitHub account and select specific files to include. You control exactly what gets analyzed. Choose your diagram type, in this case, a flowchart, and generate. You get a diagram your entire team can actually read and understand. Turn undocumented code into living documentation in minutes. AI Diagram Maker handles more than just flowcharts. Let's create a sequence diagram, a common diagram type for documenting API interactions and service communication. Describe your services and interactions, then click the icon button to automatically add matching icons. The payment service gets a credit card icon. The order service gets a cart icon. Every component is visually represented the way engineers expect it to look, without you hunting for icons manually. Here's one more example that shows the power of automatic icons, and I've switched to dark mode to show you how it looks. I'm describing a standard web architecture, a React frontend talking to a Node.js backend, with Redis for caching and PostgreSQL for persistence, all containerized in Docker. AI Diagram Maker generates the full architecture diagram with matching icons for every component: React, Node.js, Redis, Postgres, Docker, all out of the box. And with dark mode, it looks sharp in any context. Let's look at a class diagram describing a school system with students, teachers, courses, and their relationships. The output matches exactly what you described. Proper class notation, correct relationships, ready to share, but you're not locked into the generated output. AI Diagram Maker gives you full control to customize every detail. For example, you can change any node's shape. If a node has an icon, you can switch it to an image shape, so the icon becomes the node itself, a cleaner look for architecture diagrams. You can also swap icons on any node. If the default icon isn't right, say you want Azure Cache instead of the generic Redis icon, just click Change Icon, Search, and apply it. You can also change colors using the built-in theme picker. These themes are designed specifically for software engineering diagrams, not generic presentation palettes. Pick a theme, and the whole diagram updates instantly. There are also dark themes if you're working in dark mode. You can change diagram orientation too, switch between top to bottom and left to right layouts in one click. You also get fine-grained control over layout. Adaptive mode lets the AI choose the optimal layout for your diagram type. Hierarchical mode gives you a different connection structure useful for certain org charts or dependency trees. You can also adjust font sizes globally, Bump it up to large for presentations or exports where readability matters. Connection label font sizes are adjustable independently as well. For individual element customization, the context toolbar gives you per node control. Click any node and you can change its shape. Try switching it to an oval shape. Double-click to rename it inline. You can change fill colors from the theme palette or from a full color picker. Border colors are customizable separately. Click on a connection and you get options to change arrow direction. Switch to dotted lines for async calls or optional dependencies, and adjust line thickness. The toolbar adapts based on diagram type 2 in a class diagram. You get specific controls for header and body colors. Beyond the visual editor, AI Diagram Maker uses D2, a declarative diagramming language, as its underlying format. Every element in your diagram has corresponding D2 code, and the editor highlights the relevant code when you click a node. This means engineers who prefer code can edit diagrams directly. Want to remove a field from a class? Delete the line in D2 and save. The diagram updates immediately. This also means your diagrams are version controllable. D2 is just text. When you're ready to share, export to SVG for crisp vector output or PNG in your preferred aspect ratio. Use the full screen view to review the complete diagram before exporting. Pan and zoom to check every detail. Your diagram is ready to drop into a README, a Confluence page, a Notion doc, or a slide deck. Stop wasting engineering time fighting diagramming tools. AI Diagram Maker lets you describe systems in plain English, or from images, PDFs, documents, or source code, and get professional diagrams immediately. Flowcharts, sequence diagrams, PRDs, class diagrams, architecture diagrams, all supported. Your ideas deserve to be documented, and your time is better spent building. Try AI Diagram Maker today at aidiagrammaker.com.